Getting bad fuel can literally destroy your modern diesel engine, actually pretty much any diesel engine for that matter, and your only line of defense is your factory fuel filter. Now, as you travel to more remote locations with some more questionable fuel sources, two things begin to happen. Number one, there's potentially more contaminants for your filter to remove, so there's a greater chance of having an issue. And number two, if you do run into an issue, you're going to be a lot further away from the nearest mechanic. So with a lot more remote trips coming up for Bianca and I in this vehicle, it's something I do not want to have happen to us. So today we're installing a fuel pre-filter kit to give us an extra layer of defense. This is what I bought. It's a fuel pre-filter kit from Western Filters designed specifically for my model Dmax. Now, this isn't a sponsored video at all. I paid full price for this, about $340 for what you see just here. And I chose this model for two main reasons. The first is that it literally comes with everything you need to fully complete this installation. Every single piece, every single bolt, even down to hose clamps and cable ties. And secondly, this is the same kit that Adam from Video Show Me How installed on his Dmax. And he's the Dmax guru, so it's good enough for him, then it's good enough for me as well. And I will link Adam's video in the description down below. That's definitely worth checking out if you're looking at completing the same job for your Dmax. So in this kit, we get a vehicle specific bracket. So my Dmax one looks like this, and this connects to existing threads and bolts in the engine bay. So there should be no drilling required, which is great news. We get the filter assembly itself. That comes pre-installed with a 30 micron filter and also a built-in water separator down the bottom there. We get a length of fuel line and also some protective conduit to keep it nice and safe. We also get ourselves some lovely cable ties and a special tool to remove that filter when it comes time to change it over. We also get all the nuts, bolts, hose clamps and more that we're going to need to complete this installation. And last but not least, we also get the instruction manual to complete the job. So it looks like it's going to be a pretty straightforward installation, so let's get into it. Now, before we can install the pre-filter, we first need to install the included fittings into the 4 ports on top of the assembly, which are numbered 1 to 4. First up are these 2 blanking pieces, and we'll be installing these into ports 3 and 4 using the included thread sealant. Next, we'll be installing these 2 adapter pieces into ports 1 and 2 on the opposite side. And finally, these 2 barb fittings attached to those adapter pieces we just installed into ports 1 and 2, again being sure to use that thread sealer. With all those fittings installed, it's time to get the new pre-filter over to the Dmax. So I run into a bit of a snag. Remember I said this was going to be a very easy bolted in and away we go process. That's not the case. I've just sat this bracket in here to see how it was going to sit. And those fuel lines, both the in and the out, run directly into my factory headlight assembly. So obviously that's not going to work. And I was racking my brains. I was like, I definitely bought the correct one for the Dmax, right? And I was looking into it and yeah, it's my own fault. On the website there, it does say, note SX models may require adjustment due to alternative headlights. So my poor entry model headlights must be different to the top of the range. One's in terms of like how much space they occupy under the bonnet. So by adjustment, I'm guessing they mean I can't use these pieces. I'm gonna have to buy some extra pieces to complete this job. So I think I've come up with a bit of a solution to fix my issue. So I bought some pieces online from a few different places to try and solve this issue. Essentially, instead of the fuel lines coming straight into the filter this way, that's where this headlight assembly is causing the issues. I'm gonna have the fuel lines coming up and then kind of 90-degree joining into this filter assembly. Anyway, that's the plan, but this job is not gonna get finished today, unfortunately. So I'm gonna pack everything away, put my wiring back to where it originally once was, and pick this up at a later stage. Okay, for you that was a couple of seconds. For me, it was just over a week, but now we finally, and hopefully, have all the pieces we need to finish this job. So let's pick things up where we left off. So I managed to find fittings with a nice 90-degree bend, ironically also from Western Filters. However, these are no good by themselves because when I screw those into this filter assembly, essentially the bend is too tight and that fuel hose won't have room to run up alongside that filter and then into the fittings we need to install here. So I managed to also find online from a company called Refast, which I'll link in the description down below, these small little extension pieces. So essentially I'll be screwing those into the filter assembly first. I won't do these up too tight now by hand because they do bind up really easily. And then I can screw my 90-degree bend into the end of that, and that should space the fuel lines out just enough to run alongside this filter. Alrighty, we're in business. That's what the finished assembly looks like there, with my inlet and outlet pointing essentially straight down, but just past where that fuel filter finishes. So there's plenty of room for our fuel hose to run up alongside that filter like so. So very happy with that. I will link those extra pieces in the description down below in case you have the same issue with your car. But the next step for me is to get this bracket installed under the bonnet. The bracket mounts to existing threads and bolt holes under the bonnet, so it's just a matter of slipping it in place in front of the battery and securing it with the included hardware. Now, normally this is where you would tighten your fuel filter assembly in place, but I'm just doing mine finger tight for now, because I'm gonna have to pull this out again in a moment to connect my fuel lines from underneath, which is not something you'd normally have to do with this assembly. But now we're moving on to the factory fuel filter assembly here, and we're just gonna remove this guard panel from the front, which is just held in place with two 12mm nuts. The next step is to gently remove the fuel line from the frontmost port on the factory filter. This line now has to run off to our new pre-filter, so we're going to go down roughly 75mm and actually cut this fuel line, but save the piece we cut off for later use. Now we're going to slip a hose clamp over the remaining fuel line and install the double-ended barb connector, which, trust me, is the hardest part of the whole job due to the tight fit. Next, we need to cut the included fuel line down to size to run between the factory filter and the new pre-filter. For the return line, we're taking the small piece we cut out earlier and installing the right angle fitting into the bottom. Now we're just installing one of our lengths of fuel line onto that right angle fitting, tightening it in place using the included hose clamp, and installing the protective conduit to both lengths of fuel line. Now we just need to install the fuel inlet hose onto that barb connector we installed earlier and tighten it in place. Slide that small length of fuel hose we cut off earlier back onto the factory filter and reinstall the clip to hold it in place. Now, moving down to the new pre-filter, we need to install these hoses onto the assembly, with the inlet from the fuel tank going to port 2 and port 1 connecting back to the factory filter. And just like that, aside from a fair bit of tidying up I still need to do, this install is now finished. So originally fuel was coming straight from our fuel tank and entering our factory filter through this inlet just here. It went through that one stage of filtration before leaving just there and going straight into the engine. That same line now continues down along our firewall here. Just excuse my messy wiring, that's yet to be tidied up. And now it enters our fuel pre-filter through port number 2, where it's filtered down to 30 micron before leaving that filter through port number 1 and following the same path back to our original factory filter. It enters here, where it's filtered once again before heading off to the engine, essentially giving us 2 lines of defense. Now, I've just got to use this small pump built into the top of my factory fuel filter assembly to pump diesel into this new filter, which is currently empty. Now, you can actually pre-fill those new filters with diesel prior to installation to speed this process up a fair bit. I just didn't have any diesel lying around in the garage, so yeah, I better get to pumping because this might take a while. The next step is to turn the car to the on position without starting it and wait for 1 minute for the fuel pump to engage and pressurize the system. After that minute, you can start it up. Well, as you can probably hear, the engine is now running, drinking some lovely filtered diesel, and there's no fuel spilling around either of these filters, so I'd say that installation was a success. Well, I've got a fair bit of tidying up to do under the bonnet now, but honestly, I am so stoked to have that job ticked off the list. When you think about it, it's basically $340 insurance against bad fuel, which is quite likely when you head up to some more remote places. But at the end of the day, it's something we might never need, but if we do need it, it could literally save the engine, plus all the hassle of trying to transport the vehicle from wherever it's broken down. So definitely worth it in my opinion. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.